Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you this story. I'm up early this morning. Well, I'm always up early, but I'm up early this morning preparing a presentation that I'm doing for our summer forum. It's a Sunday school class at our church, and this forum is in two parts. And the first part is today on the Slave Bible. Next week is on why we're apart. Well, the whole thing is why we're apart, and I think the Slave Bible is, and other instruction books are integral in that, or instrumental in that, and um, and then what we can do about it. That's what I'm going to tackle next week. But I was sitting here thinking, how many pieces of this, none of this exists in one place. The presentation that I'm doing, none of it exists in one place. It's pieces that I had to pull together to create this narrative and to tell this story, right? So, it's a lot of research, and I've done this presentation twice before, but the first one was just a short piece because I created a symposium with other people. The next one was just me, but it didn't specify as much about the Episcopal Church, and specifically my church here in Georgia, the mother church of the Episcopal churches in Georgia. And so I had to go in a little bit further, and I was doing that work yesterday, but there was some kind of something went on, and our internet went out, and it was out for hours. And so I tethered my phone, to the laptop so that I could, get some kind of a signal. But I'm back up in the cut, so signals are not that strong anyway. Anyway, I labored through, and I said to somebody, it feels like I'm in 1997 or something, when everything was slow. And but it reminded me of painstaking research that had to be done. I was complaining about the slow download or whatever, but you had to physically go someplace, and if it wasn't there, you had to order it through interlibrary loan, and you had to wait for it to come back, and then you read it, and then you pulled it together, and you did it. And having so much information at our fingertips for the present and the past has not made us better at looking at these things, looking closely at these things. And I was like, why am I like this? Why do I do these dives for for work that, it's not a part of the work that pays me, or because it matters. It matters to see. And then I saw a piece this morning when I was getting up, something that I've known for a long time. People will talk about dismantling something or unraveling something or what have you. And you can't really unravel a braid that you didn't put in. Let me tell you what I mean. If you don't know the direction that you braided that braid, you're going to do a lot more damage, and it's going to be much more painful. You're going to take out some hair because you need to know the direction of that braid, and you need to know when you pulled another piece from over here, because this piece was a little bit shorter, and when you gathered these two. And because we weren't there when the braid was braided, what is really required is going back in and understanding how these systems were created, and then going forward from there. And I know that sounds like insufficient, not enough. We want to destroy, we want to dismantle, but a lot of the destruction undoes some of the sentiment. For example, one of the people involved in sanctioning the Slave Bible was an abolitionist, was one of the most powerful abolitionists in the Church of England at the time. He was the Bishop of London. And his intention was to not only teach, but to teach the Bible. And in his compromise with enslavers, we got this Bible that took out any mention of freedom or hope or joy. He wanted to slip in these things, but he couldn't. And so he settled with maybe there will be some learning, and maybe if there's pieces of it, they will get. He had enough belief to know that if you could get a piece of it, you can get some inspiration from it. It will give you this thing to be free. I hope I'm sparking something in someone to go deep, to understand, to look at, to look deeply in your own stuff. There are some things that you've done and you wish you could go back and undo them. You cannot. You know that you cannot undo them. Look at the why. Look at the why you did it and how you got there, and find that kernel of truth that allows you to go forward, doing better in the future, changing things for everybody that's coming. I love you, and I hope this hits some places in your heart. And I apologize. I usually come out in the morning. First thing I do is turn off the ceiling fan, and I failed to do it this morning because I started work first. So if it's a bother seeing that ceiling fan, turn this off and just listen. Put the phone down and just listen to it, because I understand, and I love you.